say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? On the shore dimly seen through the mists of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes, what is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines on the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner, oh, long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace. May the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. And conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, can you hear me? My name is Dennis Speed, and on behalf of the Schiller Institute, I want to welcome you to today's event. About this time, 51 years ago, the nation found out that President John F. Kennedy was dead. What happened to us all after that has brought us here today. What happened on September 11th, 2001, in New York City and in Washington, D.C., and in Pennsylvania, has brought us here today also. In New York City, over 3,000 were killed that day, and over 300 million people in our country were placed in a different relationship to the rest of the world. But in a larger sense, we are not brought together by those terrible events. In a larger sense, those events were the violent reactions to a vision of the world that was hated by the perpetrators of those events. The most startling, electrifying, and uplifting portion of that vision was the Kennedy space program that successfully placed all of mankind on the moon and successfully brought us all home from the moon within a decade. Every time a Chinese astronaut teaches a class to 60 million children in China from space, every time an Indian space orbiter greets an American orbiter over Mars, every time Russian cosmonauts at the International Space Station set a new record for time spent walking in space, every time a European Space Agency vehicle tackles a comet 10 years and hundreds of millions of miles away, John Kennedy smiles. Like anybody, he would have liked to have lived a long life, as another young American would say, less than 24 hours before his assassination, 5 years later. But to go to the mountaintop, it is necessary to dare to know, sapere aude, to dare to know the truth and to speak the truth boldly and without artifice. Today, the truth is that China, Russia, India, and other nations are now proposing to the United States that the Alliance for Progress that Kennedy actually proposed, which now has its highest expression in the lunar mining program of China and its space program, which is also called by the name the BRICS policy, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa policy. This is a new government of, by, and for the people. But this will never become United States policy unless some section of the American citizenry organizes the rest of America to dare to know the truth, so that the truth can set us free from the present dark American nightmare. The reason that the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself is that only fear will compel us to deny the truth, in the same way that Peter denied Christ the night of Christ's political imprisonment. The denial of truth is the first characteristic of slavery. As Harriet Tubman famously said, "I freed 1,000 slaves, but I could have freed 1,000 more if only I had been able to convince them that they were slaves." Knowledge is the key, and today we are assembled here because we dare to know. Remember that the political railroad engineered by Tiberius of Rome, using the corrupt courts of Judea, including Caiaphas and Pontius Pilate, terrified people into subjugation and slavery, yet all over the world today, people don't talk about Pontius Pilate. They don't talk about Tiberius or Caiaphas. They talk about Jesus Christ. And so today we assemble to create a new birth of freedom in the United States by freeing the minds of the citizens from the fear of the unknown. We shall know the truth. We're now going to perform the first section of the Requiem of Mozart in commemoration of President Kennedy and the victims of 9/11.